So hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and we are currently learning Ultimate Python course from beginner to advanced. So in this course you will master Python with the help of some projects and some practice interviews question after each topic. So if you have missed any of the tutorials, then you will get Ultimate Python course playlist link and the tutorials link in the description box. You can check out. So now without wasting any further time, let's continue our Python series. So now next topic is tuples, and what are tuples? So let's see. Tuples are ordered immutable collection in Python. Once created, you cannot modify a tuple. They are commonly used to store a collection of items that should not change. If an easiest way I'll explain you is that tuples are a collection of items. Means in tuple you can add more than one items. Means collection of items. Okay, they are similar to list, but they are not completely similar. We have already learned list in tutorial number 2. If you have not watched, you will get its link in description box, and I'll explain you in a short summary. That is, if you want to add any item in a list, you can add it. If you want to remove any item in the list, you can remove it. If you want to update a list, you can update that item in the list. But in tuples, they are immutable, means you cannot change a tuple after creation. You cannot change the tuple. Okay, but in list they are mutable, you can change. Okay, so now let's see its examples also. But first we will see what are the difference between list and tuple. The first difference is that its syntax. That is, in tuple you will use this type of bracket, means parenthesis, and in list we have already seen in tutorial number 2 we used square bracket while creating a list. Okay, and the second difference is, which I have explained you, and that is they are mutable. Okay, tuples are immutable and list is mutable. Okay, so let's see its examples, and that is we are creating a variable for a tuple, and in that variable we are storing some of the items, means collection of items, more than one items we are storing in this variable tuple. Then we have to print it. Okay, defines a tuple with the 3 elements. Yes, we are adding 3 elements in the tuple, and then this will be output. So now we will write code for tuple, and for that we have to create a variable. Okay, so now for creating a tuple or a variable, I'll write its name tuple items, and in this tuple I'll be adding some of the items. I have already told you that in tuple you have to use parenthesis. Okay, so that's why we are using parenthesis while creating a tuple. In this parenthesis we will add some of the items, and that is, first is laptop, second is mobile, and the third is mouse. So now we have added these 3 items in a tuple. Now I want to print this tuple. So for print, I'll write print. Then I will write the variable name, means tuple name, which we have created. That is tuple items. Okay. Now I will run this code. So see here, it's showing in the terminal correct output, and that is laptop, mobile, and mouse. Okay. So now we have created our first tuple. So now the next thing is, so now the next thing we will see is type of tuple. What is this? I'll be showing you. That is, if I create a variable, and that is single tuple. Okay, see this carefully. Single tuple, I am creating a variable. Okay, in this I am storing a tuple, means I have created a tuple, and in this I am storing a item, that is pen drive. Okay, pen drive. Now see, I have only stored one item. Okay, single item in this tuple. Now I am giving a comma. Currently, when I am not giving a comma here after this first item, this code editor will treat it as a string. It will not treat it as a tuple, because in tuples there are collection of items, not a single item. Okay, currently I have only stored a single item, means it is treating it as a simple string, and this is treating it as a simple variable. Okay, if I give a comma here, now it will treat it as a tuple. Okay, so now I will print this. See here, print here, and I will write this variable name, and that is single tuple. Now I will run this code. See here. Okay, I have to give a type also, because we want to check its type. We don't want to print this. Okay, it is already showing an output, that is good, but we have to check its type. So for that, I have to keep this in one more parenthesis. Okay, now I will write type. I'm writing this because I want to tell the compiler that show me the type of this tuple or show me the type of this variable. So okay, now it will show the type of this variable. I'll delete this and I will again run this code. So see this, it is showing that this type of variable is a tuple. Okay, if I remove this comma from here, now I will run this. See here. See here, now it's showing that it is a string. It is not a tuple because we have removed the comma. We are only storing a single item in the tuple or in a variable. So now this code editor or a compiler will treat it as a simple string, not a tuple. If I write the comma here, now it will treat it as a tuple. See here, class tuple. I hope you understood it. Now the next thing we will learn is what are the difference between tuple and a list. So for creating a list, I'll explain you with the help of example. That is, first we have to create a variable and then we will store some of the items in the list. Okay, and then we will print it. So let me explain you in this code editor, and that is, first we have to create a variable and that is list. I am giving our list name is list. Then you have to use square bracket because I have already told you that you have to use square brackets in the list and parenthesis in the tuple. So now we will store some of the items in this list, and that will be, I'll add these items only in our list. Copy and paste. Okay, so now we have created our list. Now I want to print this list. So for print, see here, now list name, and let me comment out this part of code so that you will not get confused. And now we will run this code. So see here, it's showing our correct output, means it is printing our list. So if I want to print a specific item from a list in our terminal or as a output, so how we will print it? Let me explain you. We will use index number, and what are index number I have already explained you in the list tutorial, but I'll be explaining you in a very short. That is, for example, index number are like a address. Okay, for example, index number in this starts from 0. So if I tell you for laptop its index number is 0, for this then you have to add index number by 1, that is by 1. So if laptop index number is 0, then 0 plus 1 its index number will be 1. 1 plus 1 its index number will be 2, and if I add more item in this list, then their index number will be 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. Okay, so if I want to print this item from our list as an output, so how we will print it? Let me explain you. First we have to write the list name or a variable name, that is list, then square bracket, and in the square bracket you have to give its index number what you want to print in terminal or as an output. If I want to print laptop, so its index number is 0 because its index start from 0 only. Okay, it's a rule in Python that in tuple its index number will start from 0. You can understand it in this way. So for that I am writing here 0. So now I will print this. Okay, so for printing this I'll write this in print, then in bracket you have to write this. Okay, so now I will run this code. See here, laptop is showing as our output. Okay, if I want to change this item, for example, if in the place of laptop I want to print computer. Okay, so how we will change it? I'll tell you. That will be, first write the list name, then square bracket. After that, what you want to change? Laptop. In the place of laptop, I want computer should be there. Okay, so for that its index number is 0. So you have to write its index number, then equal to sign, and I want to change 0th index value. See here, this is 0th index, this is 1 index, and this is 2 index. So I want to change this index. So that's why I'm writing list name, then 0 index, and then I want to print computer in the place of laptop. So now I will print this list. See here. So now in the place of laptop, computer will be, see here. It's showing correct output. Computer, mobile and mouse, and laptop is removed from our list. Now the next thing is, if you want to add any item in the list at the end of this list, so how you will add it? Let me explain you. That will be like this. First you have to write the variable name, and that is list name. Okay. After that you have to write dot append. Dot append means we are adding a element at the end of the list. Okay, we are not giving a specific index number that you have to add at this index number, 0th index or 1 index or 2 index or 3 index. We are just writing append. Append means at the end. It doesn't matter that your list size is 3, 4 or 1000 or 10,000. It will add that item at the end of the list. Okay, so for that, after this dot append bracket, inside that you have to write the item name, what you want to add. Okay, I want to add television at the end of the list. Now I want to print this list so that we can check this television is added in our list or not. Now list name, that is list, and now I will run this code. I'll just, sorry, I have to write print here, that's why it's showing error. Now I will run this code. See here, it's showing our correct output, that is computer, mobile, mouse, and at the end of the list television is added. So now the next thing is, if you want to get any specific item index number, so how you can get it and how you will print as output. So let me guide you. If I want to print this mouse index number, so what is its index number? That is laptop index number is 0, its index number is 1, and mouse index number is 2. So for that we will write code to get its index number. Okay, so for that you have to write print, and inside the parenthesis you have to write the list name. Okay, that is means variable name, and that is list. After that parenthesis again, and then you will write the item name. Okay, the item which index number you want to print as output, and that is mouse. And the one thing is, you have to write here after list dot index. What does this mean? I'll explain you how this code run in backend. See here. First, this compiler will check whose index number you want to get. That is mouse. It's a list. Yes, it's a list. And you want to get its index number. That's why we are writing dot index. List index number. Okay. So now I will run this code. So see here. It's showing 2. I'll zoom this. See here, it's showing 2, means mouse index number is 2. If I want to get index number of a laptop, okay, but we have changed laptop to computer. Okay, so if I want to, see here, we have already changed laptop to computer. This line have changed this laptop to computer. So if I want to get this computer index number, and that is 0, so I will write computer here, and now I will run this code. See here, it's showing 0 index. Okay, I hope you understood it. So now I will show you the difference between list and a tuple. See here, in list we have changed the items, we have added, we have append items, means we have added an item at the last. Okay, if you want to remove, you can also remove this item also. For example, if I want to remove, let me show you this also. If I write the name of the variable and then dot remove, okay, I want to remove a specific item, and that is if I want to remove this mobile from this list. Okay, so now I will write its name, that will be mobile. Now I will print this, and inside parenthesis you will write the list name. Now I will run this code. See here, this mobile have been removed, and in the list now it's only showing computer, mouse and television. This mobile have been removed. In list, the add operation, remove and update and append, each and everything is working properly. But in tuple it will show error, because tuple are immutable, means you cannot change any item in the tuple. For example, if I tell you this is the tuple, which I'll copy and paste here. Now I will write code for tuple. and I will comment this code so that you will not get confused, and I'll delete this. So now we have created a tuple, right? If I want to update or if I want to add any of the item, okay. If I want to update any of the item, if I want at the place of this laptop, computer should be there. So see here, for that I will write the variable name, that is tuple items, okay. And inside that variable I will write it index number. What is laptop index number? That is 0. In the place of laptop I want computer. Then similar to list, I am writing its code, that will be after equals to what item you have to add. You have to write that name, that is computer. See here, I have added it. Now I will print this. So for print, now the variable name, and that is tuple item. Now I will run this code. See here. See here, it's showing error. Why it's showing error? Because in tuple you cannot update any of the item after creation. If I remove this bracket and I add a square bracket here, okay, it will treat it as list. It will not treat it as tuple. So it will not show any error. See here. Now I have removed this. Now I will run this code. See here, it's working properly, and in the place of laptop it's showing computer, because now this code compiler is treating it as list, not a tuple. When I am writing a parenthesis, it will treat it as a tuple and it is showing error. So I hope you understood it. Tuples are immutable, means you cannot change it. Lists are mutable, you can change it. In the list you use square brackets and in the tuple you use parenthesis. So till now we have learned what is indexing. We have already learned here that what is indexing, how to get a particular or a specific data by its index number. Okay, so now our next topic is, that is slicing. This is our website which I have made for you for the Python Ultimate course notes. Currently it's not completed yet, but as soon as I complete this website I will provide you. So now our next topic is slicing. What does slicing means? By the name we can understand it like that we are slicing something or dividing it into pieces. Yes, it's same only. We are slicing a tuple and we will divide it into subtuples, or you can say in small parts. Okay. So for example, if I have a tuple that is banana and cherry, there are only two data. If I only want this banana, so what will I do? I will slice it, means I will cut it from here. Okay. And I will only take banana here. Okay. Or I only want cherry, then I will cut it from here and I will take only cherry here. Okay. So let me show you in our VS Code. So here, let me guide you how to write its code for slicing in tuple. So for that we have to create a variable. I am taking different example, okay. That is numbering I am taking, and this is a variable, means this is a tuple and where we will store some of our items or data. That will be integer type of data, okay. So that is 10, 20, that is 30, 40 and 50. That much will be enough. Okay, I'll also write 60 or 70. Okay. So our first task for slicing of tuple is we have to access, or we have to slice a tuple into small part, and we will access that specific part which we are cutting it from that tuple. Okay. So let me give you example. If we have a cake, so how we will cut it? We will cut from here and then we will cut from there. Means two times we are cutting it, and then we will take a small part or a one single piece from a cake. Okay. So if we want to slice a tuple, so how we will do? Obviously, we have to tell our code editor or our compiler that we are slicing from here. Means we have to tell our code editor the starting point from where we are slicing it and the ending point till where we are slicing it. In the cake we do same only. We cut from here and the second we cut from here and then we take a small part. So here we will do same thing. We will tell our code editor or a compiler that we are cutting it from here, means starting point or a starting index we will give, and then our ending point or an ending index we will give, and then our code compiler will run that part of code and give a slice of tuple, okay, or a small part of a tuple in our output. Okay. So for that, for example, if I want from 10 to 40, Okay, or from 10 to 50 I want. Okay, so now we will see. But here I have given 20. Okay, I'll give 10 also. Okay, so now I want from 10 to 50. So what we will do? See here. For example, we will write print because we have to print as output. That's why I am writing here print. Then inside bracket we will write our tuple name or a variable name, that is numbering. Now inside bracket, a square bracket you have to give, and now you have to give why it's showing error, because we have to write like this. Okay, now so now inside square brackets you have to give its starting index and its ending index. I have already taught you what is index. Okay, it is like a address for our data. So in tuple it's starting from 0. So this is 0th index, this is 1 index, then this is 2. Then you can add 1 index when you reach to next data. Okay, so this is 2 index, this is 3 index, this is 4 index, this is 5 index, and this is 6 index. Okay, so what is our tuple length? Length and index are different. I have already taught you in previous topics of Python. Okay, there's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 7 is the length, but our last data index number is 6 because it's starting from 0th index. That's why. Okay, you please keep this in mind while writing code. Don't get confused between length and index number. Okay, so now we have to give its starting point. I want from 10, so that's why I will give starting point 0, then this sign. After that you have to give the ending point till where you want your slicing should be there, and then you have to give the ending point or the ending index till where you want your slicing should be there. Okay, so for that I want till 50. So for that, what is 50 index number? 0 1 2 3 and 4. 4 is an index number, so I will give 4. So now I will run it. See here what answer will come. Why it's only showing 40 not 50? Because I have already taught you in list tutorial. In list and in tuple they are little same. I already told you. That is, if you are giving a starting point, this code editor or compiler will take that specific index number only. Okay, I am giving 0, it's taking 0 only and it's printing 10. But when we give index number of endpoint till where you want slicing should be there, it will take less than one index number. For example, if I give 5 index number, it will only take 4 and it will print till 4 index number, not till 5. I am writing 5, but it will only take till 4 only. Okay, for example, I have written here 4. 0, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So it should print 50 also, only but it's only printing 40. Okay, because it's only taking till this index number, till 3 index number, not till 4. If I want that it should take for 4, I have to increase one index number and I have to give its 5. Now it will take till 4 only. Now I will run this code. See here. Now it's printing till 50. Okay, so you please keep this in mind. Now our next thing is start from beginning. Okay, so now let me tell you what is this. For this you have to again write print. In this what I am doing, first you give our variable or tuple name, then square bracket, and now I am not giving its starting point. Okay, I am keeping it blank. See here, I am keeping it blank. Now I am giving its ending point, its ending index, that is 4. So I told you, if you are giving an ending point, it will take less than one index number, not that current index number. So if I'm giving 4 here, so what is 4? 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it will take till 3 only, that is 40 only. Okay, so now I will run. See here, it's printing correct part. See here, I have not given its starting point, but it's taking its default value. What is default value? If you are not giving its starting point for slicing, it will take default from 0th index, means from where your tuple is starting. Okay, starting index it will take. So we have seen this also. So now our next thing is in tuple, that is Now I will give its starting point, but now I will not give its ending point. See here. That is print. Now numbering our tuple name, that is, and now sorry, square bracket will be there, and that is, now I'm giving it starting point, that is 1. I'm giving it starting point 1. Okay. So it will take from 20, not 10. Now I am not giving its ending point. So now I will run this code. See here. It's taking from 20 only, but now it's printing your rest of the tuple. Okay. So what we have learned here? We have learned that if you will not give its ending point, by default it will take the length of the tuple, means the last index number till where your tuple is there. If you have 1000 data or 1000 items in your tuple, it will take 1000 items only. Till where your tuple is there, it will take that last index number and it will print it. If you will not give its ending point, by default value it will take last index number. Okay. If you will not give its starting point, by default it will take 0th index number, means starting data or starting item. So now our next thing is you have to skip one item. Okay, so for that we will see print now bracket, sorry, numbering. Now see here, I'm giving 2 times this ratio sign and then I'm giving 2. What does this mean? For example, if I want to print a tuple, but I want to print this tuple by skipping one data or one item. What does this mean? See here. If I want to print 10, then I want that 20 should be skipped, then 30 should be print, then 40 should be skipped, then 50 should be print as output. So for that, skipping one single data, okay, after each data, one data should be skipped. Okay, so for that you can write here 2. Don't give it starting point, only write this 2 ratio sign, then write 2. That means it will skip alternative data or alternative item from your tuple. So for that, now I will run this code. See here, it's printing correct output. I have skipped alternative data or item. 10 it's showing, yes. 20 skipped, 30 it's printing, 40 skipped, 50 it's showing, 60 skipped, then 70 is showing. Okay, so I hope you understood it. Now the last thing in our tuple is, not last, we will also learn some more important things in tuple, but for this, you have to reverse your tuple. Yes, this is interesting. So now we will see. For this, write print, then write a tuple name, that is numbering. Inside square brackets, you have to write double ratio sign, and after that, you have to give -1. What does -1 means? It means we are not giving it starting point. So by default, it will take starting point the last index number till where your tuple is there, or till the length of your tuple or your last index number. You can say that it will take the last index number, means now it will start printing from this last index number 70, then it will print 60, then 50, then 40, then 30, then 20, then 10. Okay, so it will reverse your tuple. So now I will run this code. See here, it's showing correct output. 70, then 60, then 50, 40, 30, 20, and then 10. I hope you understood this. So now our next topic is, that is looping through a tuple. For sure, I will be teaching you in the next tutorial, but for now we are skipping this, and in the next tutorial I will teach you. So now our next topic is tuple unpacking and packing. So let's see our example. That is, we have created a tuple. Okay, apple, banana, cherry. There are 3 items in that. And what does this mean? Tuple packing is the process of putting multiple items into tuple. Means this is our simple normal tuple where we are putting multiple items or multiple data into a single tuple. Our next is unpacking a tuple. What does unpacking means? See here, tuple unpacking assigns values from the tuple into individual variables. Okay, so let me give you example for this. That is, when we are packing something, so what we do, we take a single box, then we take all small items, and then we will put into that box, and then you will pack that. That means packing. Similarly, in tuple we are packing multiple items into a single tuple and we are packing it. Okay, what does unpacking means? Unpacking means when you have packed all your items into that particular or a specific box, now you are unpacking means you are taking out all that stuff, all that items what you have packed into that box. So you are taking out all that items from that box. Similarly, in tuple, we are unpacking means we are taking out all the data, all the items from the tuple. Okay, and now we are assigning that items what we have taken out from the tuple into a specific individual variable. Okay, and then we are printing that data, not variable. We are printing that data. Okay, so let's see in our Visual Studio Code. I hope you understood. So for that, we are creating a variable that is packed tuple. Then I'm storing some of the data that is apple, banana, and cherry. Sorry, this is string, that's why it's showing error. We have to keep it into double inverted commas. Apple, then banana, then cherry. Okay, so now we have packed all the items into our tuple. Now we will print this. Simple. Print, write the tuple name. So now I will run this code. See here, it's showing correct output. So now we have learned what is packed tuple. Okay. So now we will see unpacking of tuple. What does this mean? So for that, now I am unpacking means we are taking out all the items or data what we have packed into tuple. So we will take out apple, banana, and cherry from the tuple. So for that, apple, banana, you will write without inverted commas. Okay. Banana, then cherry, and then you will store this into a variable, and I'm giving a variable name that is packed tuple only. This is variable, but this was tuple because it's storing it into this parenthesis, that's why it is tuple, and this is a variable. Now I will print this all data. I will copy this, and now we will paste here. Okay, so now I will run this code. See here, it's showing correct output, apple, cherry, and banana, and it's printing it. Okay, so now we will see next topic in tuple. So now our next topic in tuples are methods. What are methods? So there are two methods in our tuple. Uh, Tuples are immutable, that's why there are only two methods. List word, I have shown you many methods in that tutorial. So our first method in our tuple is that is count. So here count the occurrence of the apple. This means you have to count a specific data in a tuple, how many times that specific data is there in that tuple. Okay, I'll show you in code editor. And the second is index. We have already seen what is index. So in Visual Studio, let me comment out this part of code, and we will need a tuple. So that's why we will take this tuple only. We name this variable tuple. So now we will see our first type of method is length. Length means it will find what is the length of your tuple. It will count how many data or how many items are there in your tuple. So for that, print, then len you have to give, means length. Then again parenthesis, and inside this parenthesis you have to give the tuple name or the variable name. And now I will run this again. See here, it's showing 3, means its length is 3. There are 3 items, 3 data in a tuple. That's correct. Okay. So now our next method is count. What does count means? Count means when you want to count a specific data or item in a tuple, how many times it's there in your tuple. So you can count, if I want to count for apple, how many times apple is there in my tuple. So for that I will write print, then parenthesis, and then you have to write your tuple name, that is tuple, sorry, tuple, then again you have to write dot, and now I'm using a method that means count. It will count apple, how many times apple is there in my tuple, that is apple. Okay, so now I will run this code. See here, this 3 is for this length. Okay, for this it's showing 1. Yes, it's correct, apple is only one time in our tuple, that's why it's showing only 1. If I write 2 times apple in here, and now I will run this again. Okay, so now I will run this code again. See here, now it's showing 2, means apple 2 times there in our tuple. So now let's see our next method, and that is index. We have already seen, but let me show you again. Tuple name, then dot, then you have to write index, means you want to access that specific index data. So that's why I am writing here index, then bracket, then I want to access one index number data, means banana I want to print as output, that's why I'm writing here 1. Okay, if in a question there is written that you have to access this data or that data, that means you have to access that index number data. On that index number which data is there or which item is there, you want to access that particular data. Okay, so now I will run this code, so it will print. So see here, why it's showing error, because we are access a string type of data in a tuple. Okay, from a tuple, so for that I have to give that data, not index number, that's why it's showing error. If I write here I want to access apple index number. Okay, so now it will print correct index number, that will be 0. See here, it's 0. What mistake I was doing, let me explain you. See here, what we are writing here, we are writing index, that means we have to access its index number, we have to not access its value. If I want to access that value, it will give that, but I'm writing dot index. Dot index method means it will write its index number, not its data. Okay, that's why it was showing error. If I want to access cherry index number, so I will write cherry here. Now I will run, so it will show 3 index number. See here, 3 is showing. I hope you understood it and don't make this mistake what I was making. So I hope you understood this and enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like, share and comment, and please share this course with your friends and family so that they can learn Python and improve their coding skills. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.